Hey, St. Andrew by the Sea, friends and family. This is Pastor Jonathan Tompkins. Welcome to our latest edition of Getting to Know St. Andrew. I'm still fairly new to this congregation, and I'm getting to know my folks, and thought that you'd like to sit in on that and get to know some of our folks as well. And we do this through a series of 7 questions. And so today, Scott Wild is with us. Hey, Scott.
Hi.
Good to see you today. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
All right. Well, let's launch right into it. Question number 1. Where have you lived?
I've lived in New Jersey, central Pennsylvania, and here. Brief stint in Delaware.
Okay. So out of the 3.5 places that you've lived, tell us some of the good stuff of each one.
Well, New Jersey, I like that you could be in any, almost like geography in an hour. You could be in Philadelphia, New York, mountains, or the beach, all under an hour, pretty much wherever you were in the state.
All right.
Pennsylvania was just vast and beautiful. I wish I had more nice things to say about Delaware. Not that I have anything bad to say about it. And then South Carolina, I like it a lot. There are some things I'd change about living in the low country, including some seasons. That would be nice. And maybe if people were a little more, open-minded, but beyond that, it's a great place.
Well, I will give a shout out to the upstate of South Carolina. If you'd like seasons, head up to maybe the Greenville area, and there's a little bit more color during the fall there, if that's what you're looking for. All right. Question number 2, Atlantic, Skull Creek, or Sound?
I'm going to have to go with a solid Skull Creek here. I think the little, Pinckney Island, and I forget what the backwaterway is on the western side of Skull Creek, Mackey's Creek.
Okay.
It's just a lot more, it's quainter. It feels quainter. Calabogue's so big and open, and the Atlantic is just, scary.
Okay. And are you more of a sit on the shore and look out at the quaint scenery, or get on a boat and head out there?
When it comes to saltwater, probably sit on the beach. I really much like fishing and stuff like that. I don't do it enough, but I'm terrified of water I can't see in. So anytime I'm over that water or in it, I'm not thrilled.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Number 3, what careers have you held?
Careers, really only an attorney. I guess I did odd jobs as a kid for a year or 2 here and there. My favorite was probably valeting cars. I met several famous people doing that.
Okay.
But that was not really a career.
All right. How famous?
So I worked at a country club, and I was an independent contractor. I worked for an independent company, not the club. But to the members, you're all the same. Mm-hmm. So Maury Povich asked me to refill his drink once. I helped Joe Pesci load his golf clubs into his car one time.
Did he swear at you?
No, he did not. He was quite nice, actually. Maury Povich was a little bit of a mean guy.
Okay.
Let's see. I met Jay and Silent Bob, because that was the area that I valeted in central New Jersey. I actually worked Silent Bob's dad's funeral, and
really
made a bit of a...
Who's Kevin Smith in real life,
Kevin
right?
Smith, yeah. Yes. It was actually his dad's funeral, and I didn't know it. And so I kind of got starstruck in front of him, and I was stumbling over my words. And then I found out that it was his dad's funeral, and I apologized.
Sure.
He was cool about it.
Okay.
Bon Jovi, and who else? That might be it from valeting.
Impressive.
A few other people working at a liquor store, but that was a different area.
We won't mention any names there.
Right? No, definitely not Queen Latifah or anyone else.
Great. And so you did say that now you are an attorney.
Yeah.
Want to say a little bit more about that?
Yeah. It's a great career. It's challenging. It can be trying at times, dealing with issues and personalities. Mm-hmm. Certainly scheduling and deadlines is tough, but it can be rewarding, and it's intellectually challenging. And so more or less I enjoy it.
Okay. What kind of law?
I do civil litigation and general representation for homeowners associations, as well as individuals, but I do a lot of the covenant interpretations for HOAs. I do some of their debt collection, which I realize may not be Jesus's favorite thing. But a lot of debt collection, and a lot of covenant interpretation, and then litigation on the side for individuals, some landlord-tenant, some contract disputes. Nothing too big, nothing too alluring, nothing that's going to result in a mail bomb showing up at my house.
Okay,
so no family,
that's good. Yeah,
no criminal. Yeah, none of that.
Good.
But yeah,
and with representing a lot of HOAs, I'm sure there's always business for you here on the island, since there are HOAs everywhere.
It's pretty fertile. They seem to have really earmarked or pigeonholed this territory into being almost entirely covenanted. There's very few freestanding homes. Certainly not on Hilton Head, but even Bluffton, they're disappearing relative to the large scale tract development.
All right. Yeah. All right. Question number 4, very important one here. What is barbecue to you?
You're not going to trick me with that, okay? I might be a Yankee, but I've learned. All right. Now, growing up, it was anytime you turned on a grill,
right?
And if you could put barbecue sauce on it, I guess it's an and/or. If you could put barbecue sauce on it, it was barbecue. I've since learned that is wholly inaccurate, and there's a huge difference between grilling and barbecue.
I think you and I have been in the South, because I grew up in the North also, and so, but I think we've been in the South for almost about the same amount of time. You've been here since you were in your 20s?
Yeah.
Same with me. And I learned like early on, like pretty much from the first I moved to South Carolina, is the proper way to discuss barbecue or to use that term.
Actually, what I learned is I really had no idea what barbecue was, because the stuff I ate was junk. It's way better down here.
There you go. So I guess, so the sub question from that then is, what kind of sauce? Mustard-based, vinegar? You like the mustard?
The minute I had it, it was probably the first sauce I had when I came down here. I was living in Columbia, and the minute I had it, I was like sold.
Okay. You and I are the same. I moved to Columbia, had mustard for the first time, and yep, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I think I was actually at, oh man, something Palmetto or something Pig.
Palmetto Pig.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where I was.
Yep, that's a good place. I had several lunches there back in the day. Yeah.
I've only been there the one time, but it was enough to change me forever.
That's great. All right, number 5. Tell us about a meaningful God moment.
So, that interesting question. I would say that I probably had a couple, but almost none of them that I realized at the time. I've looked back at my life at some mistakes I've made, and almost these unexplained trajectory changes by me, like making bad choices, doing stuff I had no business doing, and then there'd be like this sudden course correction, and it wasn't like a rock bottom situation. It was just like an epiphany. And I guess over time I figured out where that came from. I don't think it was random.
A lot of my God moments are in hindsight, kind of looking back on my path. And at the time you're thinking, yeah, I'm just making this decision myself. And then kind of looking back and you're like, well, wait a minute. There's no way I could have made that decision on my own. Yeah.
Yep. I felt like, God has definitely tried to teach me some things in my life, good and bad, what not to do, what to do. Definitely gotten close call burned and close call saved on more than a few occasions. And you start to, as you get older, wonder why. Why did it go that way? And so as I've been coming to church more regularly than I did since I was a kid, I'm much more open to those ideas than I used to be. I also know that I'm too stubborn. If I were to have like Jesus walk through the door wearing his robe, looking like however we portray him in the books, and told me to do something, I'd probably tell him to get lost. So I think probably that was the only way to approach me.
Yeah. And I do want to give you a shout out. Several Sunday mornings while your children have been in Sunday school, you're right out here in our garden doing a little bit of gardening out here. Tell us a little bit more about that.
It's like quiet, solitude, peaceful. It's something about working with plants, and I bring my kids here, and I don't. I've only recently heard that there was other things I could be doing here besides that, like joining a study group of some kind.
Hmm.
So I've just been killing the time while my son's in Sunday school, just tending to the rose bushes and some of the plants there, and deadheading them, breaking
Hmm.
off the bloom the fallen blooms so that new blooms can come, and it's enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah. There might be a little spiritual message in there as well.
I
Some new things can bloom.
it's
Yeah,
crossed my
yeah,
mind about
yeah.
how there's analogies there.
All right. Well, to be continued on that one. All right. Number 6. What is a talent you have?
Besides getting under people's skin, I would say I am probably pretty good at, I guess, at sports and sports stuff. About the best I can come up with.
So I was hoping to kind of let our listeners and watchers know about this one. It might be like a little plug for you play a sport that not a lot of folks around here play.
Yes, I play rugby. I've been doing it for about 20 years now, not continuously, but I've had a few years off in between. And the Hilton Head Club took a bit of a nap for a couple of years, and now it's back. And so I'm trying to throw my support behind it as, I guess, the now elder statesman of the team. And that's a lot of fun. That's bloomed again, another blooming analogy. It's bloomed from almost nothing in the summertime to a very prosperous club right now. So that's exciting. But I've always been around sports my whole life. I do like contact sports. There's something, even though it sounds almost evil, there's something pure about just tapping into your baser instincts and letting them happen instead of like constantly fighting them, and doing it in a constructive way that gives you some kind of release but doesn't do wrong by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that about it.
All right. And I have come to a rugby match to watch, and
Yes, thank you.
I didn't quite understand what was happening, but it looked like y'all were having a good time. So.
We were having a good time. That's all that matters.
And finally, number 7, what is something you like about St. Andrew by the Sea?
Oh, geez. I guess I figure out something new I like all the time. I like how the youth program seems to be growing. I like how the pews, I know we're down to one sermon on the Sunday instead of 2, but I like how they're more full than they were when I first got here. Everyone's been really nice. I mean, Reverend Frank, you, Miss Connie, people that I deal with have just been fantastic. Just really open and warm, and feels good.
Awesome. That's a great way to end it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Scott, for letting us get to know you just a little bit. All right. Great. All right. And friends, thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you again soon.